It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life, but sometimes you gotta do that. I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
I just feel like it's PR. He's settled because he doesn't want to go to court.
Music mogul and rapper Sean Diddy Combs has faced 4 different lawsuits in recent weeks alleging sexual assault and abuse, all of which he has denied. The first of those came from singer Cassie Ventura, known as Cassie, who accused Combs of sexual abuse and sex trafficking during the decade they were together. NBC's entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas spoke exclusively to a longtime friend of Cassie's who said she witnessed some troubling incidents.
In the fast-paced world of hip-hop mogul Diddy, the beats of success and scandal often intertwine. But now, a storm is brewing that could shake the very foundations of his empire. Rumors are swirling that the federal authorities have amassed over 212 tapes, potentially containing disturbing views of famous celebrities partying naked in a video, and also explosive evidence that could lead to Diddy facing prison time. As the walls close in, Diddy finds himself at a crossroads, facing the possibility of a fall from grace unlike any other. But will these tapes be the final nail in the coffin of his illustrious career? Join us as we delve deep into this gripping saga, uncovering the truth behind the headlines and exploring the implications of this potentially career-ending scandal. But before we do that, don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's dive in. On March 25, 2024, federal agents conducted simultaneous raids on the Miami Beach and Los Angeles homes of Sean Diddy Combs, a renowned hip-hop producer. They also questioned him at a local airport as part of an ongoing sex trafficking investigation. However, prosecutors are not yet ready to press charges, as they need to carefully review the evidence gathered during the raids. The search warrants were based on information obtained from individuals connected to Combs who have filed lawsuits against him. These warrants allowed agents to seize electronic devices like laptops and mobile phones from Combs' properties. The agents now analyze this electronic evidence to determine if there is any truth to the allegations that Combs coerced his staff and associates into hiring prostitutes, including potentially minors, for his sexual activities while traveling. This investigation is not solely based on the raids, but also includes testimony from witnesses and potential victims. This comprehensive review process could take several weeks or even months before prosecutors make a decision on whether to proceed with charges. It's clear that the focus of the investigation is on the electronic evidence gathered, indicating that prosecutors are taking this matter seriously. Interestingly, after federal agents raided Diddy's mansions, they discovered something shocking. They uncovered 212 secret tapes containing scandalous content. These tapes, reportedly filled with explicit material, have thrown Diddy into a whirlwind of legal trouble. The question on everyone's mind is, will these tapes lead to his imprisonment, or will they simply provide us with some sensational entertainment? The investigation took a serious turn when agents uncovered these tapes during their examination of the recovered cameras. These tapes are said to contain recordings of what has been described as freak-off sessions, adding a layer of salacious intrigue to the already sensational story. The inquiry, spearheaded by HC's New York office and prosecutors at the Southern District of New York in Manhattan, hinges on whether there is evidence to suggest that Combs used both money and force to pressure sex workers and potentially underage girls into engaging in sexual activities with him at his residences in Miami Beach, Los Angeles, and other locations. Although federal agents were able to question Combs on Monday afternoon at Miami Opa-locka Executive Airport, they ultimately released him. An aircraft associated with Diddy was reportedly at the airport in Antigua and Barbuda on Tuesday, according to an official from that country's government who informed the Herald. But immigration records do not indicate his arrival in the Caribbean nation. In South Florida, investigations into sex trafficking are not uncommon, but are challenging to prosecute, as authorities must demonstrate that a perpetrator either physically threatened or coerced women into participating in sexual acts for money, either with them or with others. Convincing victims to testify is also difficult, as they often fear retaliation. Cases involving young boys and girls as victims may be somewhat easier to prosecute. But there is always uncertainty about whether they will cooperate as witnesses. In one of South Florida's most notorious cases, federal prosecutors opted not to pursue sex trafficking charges against wealthy New York financier Jeffrey Epstein, who was suspected of sexually abusing young women and teenage girls at his Palm Beach estate. However, Diddy's situation may differ. Fort Lauderdale lawyer Bradley Edwards, who secured civil settlements for around 200 victims of Epstein over more than 10 years, stated that prosecutors in Combs' sex trafficking case can use evidence from prior lawsuits against the music producer. He highlighted the most recent lawsuit filed in New York last month by music producer Rodney "Lil Rod" Jones, alleging that Combs, his team, and other executives were aware of this shit and involved in illicit and unwelcome sexual activities in Florida, New York, California, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Jones, a multi-instrumentalist hired by Combs in 2022 to assist in producing his latest album, alleges in the lawsuit that Combs threatened, groped, and drugged him. He also claims to have video recordings of many of their interactions. However, Edwards noted that the most significant claim in Jones' case is his assertion that he has irrefutable evidence of Combs providing laced alcoholic beverages to minors and sex workers at his homes in California, New York, the U.S., Virgin Islands, and Florida. Edwards emphasized that this description aligns with the sex trafficking of minors, suggesting Jones could be a witness for federal investigators. Somebody had to take notice of that. I'm assuming federal investigators are chasing that, Edwards stated. In civil lawsuits, 4 women have accused Combs of rape, assault, and a range of other abuses dating back 30 years. One of the allegations involved a minor, according to the Los Angeles Times. His former girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, the singer known as Cassie, accused him of rape and repeated physical assaults, stating that he forced her to have sex with male prostitutes in his presence. According to a lawsuit in November 2023, the suit was quickly settled. Her case encouraged others to come forward with allegations against the prominent hip-hop mogul. Joy Dickerson Neal filed a lawsuit accusing Combs of drugging and raping her in 1991, recording the assault, and then distributing the footage without her permission. In a separate case, Lisa Gardner claimed in a lawsuit that Combs and an R&B singer sexually assaulted her. Another lawsuit alleged that Combs and former Bad Boy label president Harve Pierre gang raped and sex trafficked a 71-year-old woman. Pierre vehemently denied these allegations, calling them disgusting, false, and a desperate attempt for financial gain in a statement. Following the 4th lawsuit, Combs took to Instagram, stating, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy." He continued, "Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." These allegations have stirred significant controversy and legal battles, with each party vehemently asserting their position. The lawsuits have sparked public debate, with many closely following the developments and outcomes of the legal proceedings. The allegations have not only put Combs' reputation and legacy on the line, but have also raised broader questions about the treatment of women and the abuse of power in the entertainment industry. However, one key aspect of this unfolding drama is the 9 separate sessions the authorities had with Jimmy Hitchman. These sessions, conducted under proper agreements, were aimed at gathering information about Diddy. In these sessions, Jimmy was questioned about Diddy, then known as Sean John Puffy Combs, and allegations of sexual misconduct involving underage boys. The gravity of the situation is underscored by the contrasting fates of Jimmy and his brother. While both faced similar charges, Jimmy received a life sentence without the possibility of parole, while his brother walked free. This stark discrepancy raises questions about the fairness of the justice system and the severity of punishments for nonviolent offenses. It's important to note that while Jimmy's case is primarily linked to drug charges, there are rumors of attempts to tie him to more serious crimes, such as murder. Regardless of the specifics, the idea that someone could spend their life in jail for drug-related offenses is troubling. The potential deal offered to Jimmy further complicates the situation. It's suggested that he could have avoided his sentence if he had provided information about Diddy's alleged misconduct. This highlights the high stakes and intense pressure faced by individuals caught up in such legal battles. In 2011, federal agents approached Jimmy Henchman, a friend of Diddy, seeking information about allegations of Diddy's involvement in sexual activities with underage boys. This raises significant questions about the origin and credibility of these allegations. The fact that the federal agents were involved suggests that these allegations were not mere rumors, but were serious enough to warrant an investigation. It's important to understand the context in which these questions were asked. When law enforcement officials approach someone like Jimmy Henchman, they do so with a purpose. They likely had credible information or complaints that led them to inquire about Diddy's activities. This underscores the seriousness of the situation and the potential consequences for Diddy if these allegations are proven true. The fact that Jimmy Henchman chose not to disclose any information he might have had about Diddy's alleged activities is significant. It raises questions about loyalty, moral responsibility, and the legal implications of withholding information about potential harm to children. There is a legal principle that states if you have information about someone harming a child and you fail to report it, you can be held just as accountable as the person committing the harm. This principle is meant to encourage people to speak up when they suspect that a child is in danger. In addition, the background of Diddy's family adds another layer of intrigue to this story. His father's involvement with Frank Lucas, a notorious drug lord, hints at a family history that is intertwined with crime and controversy.
This is my dad, Frank Lucas, and shout out to Vlad TV. Thanks for setting up this interview.
Diddy himself has been no stranger to controversy, having survived the notorious East Coast-West Coast hip-hop feud of the 1990s. In a revealing interview with Vlad TV, Frank Lucas sheds light on his relationship with Diddy's father, Melvis. Frank describes Melvis as a close friend with whom he conducted a lot of business, albeit of an illegal nature. Frank's mention of not a legal business hints at the shady dealings they were involved in together. One intriguing detail Frank shares is about a certain guy who did it, whom he seems pleased received his comeuppance at a club called the Turntable. It appears that Melvis frequented this club, and Frank implies that this individual met his fate there. Melvis, according to Frank, was quite the ladies' man, often seen at the turntable enjoying the nightlife. This paints a vivid picture of Melvis as a socialite and someone deeply embedded in the club scene. When asked about the specifics of his interactions with Melvis, Frank reveals that he was once asked by someone, presumably a journalist or investigator, to share information about Melvis. However, Frank chose not to divulge everything, as the person didn't seem genuinely interested or pressing for details. Interestingly, Frank mentions that he knew Melvis's son, referring to Diddy, but he didn't know him by his famous monikers Puffy or Puff Daddy. This adds a personal touch to Frank's story, showing that he had a connection to Diddy's family before Diddy became a household name in the music industry. Interestingly, one of the shocking revelations from the tapes is the alleged involvement of popular Dallas Pastor T.D. Jakes, in Diddy's scandalous activities. Despite his prominent status, Pastor T.D. Jakes has remained remarkably silent since these revelations came to light. This has sparked anger and frustration among many who feel that his silence is deafening, especially given his close association with Diddy, including opening a church with him. The silence surrounding Pastor T.D. Jakes' involvement has led to speculation and discomfort among the public. Some have even suggested that his silence may indicate a sense of guilt or complicity in Diddy's actions. This has caused a rift in the community, with some questioning the authenticity of his teachings and the sincerity of his relationship with Diddy. The comparison to R. Kelly, another public figure embroiled in scandal, is striking. Just as R. Kelly stood alone in his legal battles, Diddy now finds himself isolated amidst mounting allegations. The mention of R. Kelly's entourage and their alleged involvement in his activities raises questions about the extent of complicity among Diddy's associates. The tapes also suggest that Diddy's sexual preferences may be more complex than previously believed. He is portrayed as someone who engages in both homosexual and heterosexual activities, leading to comparisons to a pendulum or a worm with a hole on each end. This revelation adds a new layer of complexity to Diddy's public image, challenging the public's perception of his sexuality. Interestingly, some believe that Diddy has been hinting at his sexuality for years through his music and public persona. This theory suggests that Diddy has been trying to tell his story all along, but the public has failed to understand or acknowledge it. Speculation about Diddy's potential jail time has also been rampant. Some predict that he could face life imprisonment, while others believe he may receive a sentence similar to R. Kelly's. The idea of Diddy sharing a cell with R. Kelly, who is known for his controversial actions, adds a chilling and surreal element to the story. Remember the R. Kelly sex tape? It was everywhere, just like any other bootleg tape you could find. R. Kelly was acquitted in that case, but that tape was circulating widely. Back in the day, that tape was on every bootleg table in New York. It was one of the top-selling DVDs. How many times have you seen older guys, maybe 40 or 50 years old, messing around with girls who were in high school? It's a messed up mentality sometimes seen in certain communities, but what R. Kelly was allegedly doing was on a whole other level. It was documented that he was involved in some disturbing behavior, like urinating on individuals. When you have money, you're a target, and if you're a black man, people might try to set you up. They might film you to have leverage over you. It's a messed up situation, but it's the reality for some people in the public eye. The entertainment industry has been rocked by a wave of sexual misconduct allegations, leading to the downfall of several prominent figures. This surge in allegations began with the revelations about movie mogul Harvey Weinstein in 2017, which sparked the #MeToo movement. Weinstein and That 70s Show star Danny Masterson are currently serving prison sentences following rape convictions. Additionally, numerous civil lawsuits have been filed against other well-known personalities. While the film industry has faced significant scrutiny, the music industry has not experienced the same level of accountability. However, there have been notable cases, such as R. Kelly's conviction for sexually abusing young fans. In another instance, 7 women have accused hip-hop mogul Russell Simmons of rape, and 2 women have sued Aerosmith singer Steven Tyler for sexual assault. Guys, this is getting serious, but do you believe Diddy could still find his way in averting his prosecution as usual? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Then, check out this next video if you don't know that Diddy's former producer spills the beans, the shocking truth he never wanted revealed. And don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for what's coming up. See you in the next video.